was looking over the games for the Virtual Console and I saw quite a few arcade games. My regular viewers know how much I really love arcade games. Heck, I even bought a couple arcade machines for my house. So I thought it'd be fun to take a look at some of the arcade classics for the Virtual Console. So I decided to pick from 3 games from my youth to review in this 3-part series. I thought I would start off with one of the very first games that I played in the arcade that I can remember. Pac Man. Originally named Pac Man, the creators changed the name because they knew that there would be a lot of no good teenagers who would remove the P from it and add in another letter. Come on, we all know what I'm talking about. Duckman. How crazy would it be if they changed it to that? Silly teenagers. There is no official storyline for this game, but that never stopped me before. So here's one I made up. Pac-Man was doing his daily grind of his job in the maze mines, collecting power pellets, when all of a sudden ghosts started to attack him. Now he has to escape the ghosts while still doing his job so he won't get fired. Or maybe he's just dreaming this whole thing. Like I said, there is no storyline for this game, so you can come up with pretty much anything you want. It's a very simple game to play. You move your character around a map, eating dots while avoiding the ghosts. The ghosts are normally invincible, which makes sense since they're ghosts. Now there is one time when they're vulnerable, and that's when you eat the larger pellets. It'll make Pac-Man invincible for a very limited amount of time, and you use that time to collect pellets without the ghosts attacking him. Or you can eat the ghosts themselves, only leaving their eyes. Ew! Your character needs to eat every pellet in the maze in order to get to the next level. When you do, nothing physically changes to the maze. Only the ghosts get a little faster, and the time for the power pellets making you invincible gets shorter and shorter. I wish they had made more than one maze map. It can make the game very monotonous over time. Ms. Pac-Man changed this, but funny enough, it was never planned to be a sequel to this game, even though it ended up surpassing Pac-Man in popularity. The controls are very stiff. Pac-Man will move on his own, but because of that, the character isn't as responsive as you would hope in moving to an area that you want. It is manageable, but I wish it was better controlled. Now, there are fruits to collect for points, and you'll want to rack up points because every 10,000 points, you'll get another life. And that will come in very handy because the game gets very hard fairly quickly. Now, you can play this game in a 2-player mode. But just like most of the games back in the day, it's played player 1 plays until he dies, and then player 2 plays. So it can get a little bit boring being player 2 waiting for your turn. Before we go, I want to ask a child's perspective on the game. Little wee viewer, come here.
I'm right here.
What'd you think of Pac-Man?
Well, I think it has 1, too loose controls, 2, horrible graphics from these days, and 3, why is there so many dots?
I'm not asking you to review it. I'm just asking, what did you think of it?
I found the game boring. It's kind of repetitive. You're literally going in a circle collecting dots.
So you're basically saying you didn't like it?
I wouldn't say I didn't like it, but it's too simple.
Well, thank you for your perspective, little wee viewer. Pac-Man was a fun trip down memory lane. It was fun to play for short periods at a time. However, its replayability is hampered by the game only using one map to play on, and the repetitiveness of the gameplay itself. However, this is a game if you have it available to play for your guests at a party, it'll become an instant hit, because your guests will remember playing it as a kid and they'll want to invoke all the memories that they had in the past. I do wish it was a little cheaper than 500 Wii points, but I do still think it was worth the money. Now, in the second part of my arcade look back, we're going to go back in time and dogfight for freedom in the airplane shooter 1942. See you next time.